1st and 10, Mayfield. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Mayfield off the play fake. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. He finds Taylor, complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 19 carries, 82 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that. one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Fighting him off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steelers coming out. It is Mason Rudolph under center. Ben Roethlisberger, the all-time leader in so many Steeler passing categories, out for the year with that elbow surgery. Enter Mason Rudolph, a third-round pick last year out of Oklahoma State. Threw for better than 13,000 yards in college, so the talent is there. But now it's about trying to pilot an offense here in the National Football League. A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 21 carries, 92 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Rudolph, but it's brought in by Washington. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Go! 30 base.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that's 60 Pittsburgh.
7-7.
Let's go! Go.
On 1st and 10 is counter. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Ready.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Now.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Ebron caught left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, it's Snell. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Rudolph looking to throw, and he's got it. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Now Rudolph. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mayfield, and that's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield, and finding the tight end, Hooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Mayfield looks to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Here's Switzer. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Credit that breakup to Greedy Williams.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They go with Chubb on second down. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On third down, Mayfield. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Here's Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. So we have reached halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. They run. Devontae Freeman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 30 on second down, Rudolph, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Check right.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Strong right.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run here with Connor, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Here's Rudolph. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the intercept.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Connor. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them.
Here comes the pressure, and the Browns block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the fourth quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? That one is caught by Hunt. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Mayfield to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mayfield throwing quickly out to Beckham. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield with it once more. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. This is caught. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Mayfield down, and this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Austin Hooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They go jet sweep. Washington with it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now Rudolph. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On the run is Connor. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Rudolph now to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rudolph. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Hey, let's go. Five.
On first down, Connor trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check.
Now it's Rudolph. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
He'll try and run forward with Connor, and he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Come on, QB, come on.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 3 down. Hey, check.
Rudolph. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for James Washington. Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish.